Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining this 5G FWA webinar. This is a newly certified product on T-Mobile. I'm Tom Grishis, the VP of Strategic Accounts, and I oversee our carrier integrations and participation. And on the call also helping me is our channel director, Mark Boyd, who will be covering a good portion of information as well. So I just want to welcome you all to the webinar. We are going to have a couple more, obviously. Scheduling is rough for everybody, so there will be another one coming out pretty soon. If you're so inclined, be sure to tell your other workmates or teammates about another one coming up and look for it. It'll be on the partner page as well as better distributed through email. So we can go for it, Mark. So today we're talking about the FWA02, which is our 5G low cost 5G router, which is a true and enterprise router in the price point that's going to be attractive to everybody. This is going to be the agenda for today. Just a general product information introduction to the actual product with a little bit more detail. We'll talk a little bit about what FWA is and the target markets, as well as some application scenarios or case studies, and then a little bit about what's going to be shipping with the parts.
All right. Yes. So without further ado, let's dive into the product introduction. So the FWA02 is a 5G router that Tom mentioned, which can fall back as well to 4G. Features two 2.5 gigabit Ethernet ports, one of the latest Wi-Fi protocols, Wi-Fi 6, dual SIM card slots, and 4 antenna ports for external antenna integration as well. So this device can also be easily deployed, managed, monitored, and maintained utilizing our in-cloud platform, which we'll also touch on here shortly. So with the release of T-Mobile's ultra-fast and expansive nationwide 5G network, new opportunities have now arisen for cellular applications. So cellular connectivity is just no longer just for low data and low bandwidth applications. The download and upload speeds that are obtainable now on T-Mobile's 5G network, paired with the reliability of their connectivity and coverage, makes this a perfect solution, not just for primary connectivity, but also for failover and even for large enterprise businesses and applications. So the fast speeds and low latency from T-Mobile's 5G network, you definitely wouldn't want to be bottlenecked with the hardware that you're using. So that's why with the FWA02, we decided to include with it those two 2.5 gigabit Ethernet ports I mentioned, and also the latest Wi-Fi 6. So those not familiar with Wi-Fi 6, compared to Wi-Fi 5, you're going to be seeing faster speeds, up to 9.6 gigabits per second, also lower power consumption, more secure data transmissions, and also the ability to connect even more clients to your device. So the
Just to interrupt, guys, I failed to mention in the beginning. I apologize, but if you have any questions, there's a Q&A button down below. You can go ahead and submit them, and we'll answer them as soon as we can.
Great note, Tom. Thanks. So yes, so the FWA02 is able to support up to 128 devices connected to the different Wi-Fi networks and broadcasts. And for anyone thinking, well, what if the device only has Wi-Fi 4 or Wi-Fi 5, the client you're trying to connect to the FWA? Well, the good news is that Wi-Fi 6 is also backwards compatible with all these devices. So also now with zero-touch deployment, the FWA02 can be effortlessly deployed and installed as pretty much a plug-and-place type solution. Has a built-in APN list that can the device can seamlessly connect to a T-Mobile network with the SIM card inserted. It can also be simply configured utilizing our in-cloud web platform that we mentioned, or the app that we have available as well, even by non-technical individuals. So the FWA02 paired with our in-cloud platform really brings together the full solution. This platform enables its users the ability to simply deploy devices, remotely manage their configuration and clients, monitor real-time performance analytics, and much more. So this unified management platform it's definitely a necessity we consider for network managers, especially ones who are possibly managing multiple sites or even different types of networks. So that is why with each FWA02 device that is purchased, we are also including up to 3 years of our in-cloud service at completely no charge. So just to highlight what you'll be seeing logging into our in-cloud platform, you'll be first greeted with your overview page, which will give you a full summary of all your devices, also highlighting some of the recent alerts triggered, connection status, data usage, and more on this page. Clicking on one of the devices, you'll get a more detailed breakdown of its current connected clients. You can see its WAN sources, its connected cellular or its local ISP. You can get the uplink statuses and its connection history. You can also actively monitor its current cellular signal strength levels, its active data usage for different time periods that you select, and also be able to manage your connected clients to it as well. And additionally, for those of you with poor eyesight like myself, it is sometimes a struggle to pull up a web GUI when you're on your mobile device or your phone. But worry not, as I mentioned, we also do have a mobile application that allows you to more easily view, monitor, and manage your in-cloud portal through your Apple or Android phone on the road. Provides all these features mentioned here. We can easily scan the QR code to register a device with the application, monitor your networks with a simplified view, check active alarms being triggered or triggered previously, and easily manage it through the app. So before I turn it back over to Tom to go over the target markets and application examples, I want to save one of the best product notes for last, which is the pricing. So some of you also might be thinking, all right, this is a 5G router, certified for T-Mobile, has two 2.5 gigabit Ethernet ports, Wi-Fi 6, 3 years of remote device management included, 3-year warranty. It's got to be at least over $1,000, what I would be thinking. If we were thinking that, definitely wrong. The FWA02 we can provide for an affordable price of just $500 on the MSRP. Tom, would you like to take it away on the applications scenarios?
Yeah. Thanks, Mark. Well done, by the way. So a fixed wireless access, I think we're all fairly familiar with what that is. If you're not familiar, obviously it's a wireless access technology for fixed locations. On this slide here, we're kind of giving you just a rundown of how we can cut the cables and eliminate or complement the fiber or cable wired connections within businesses or within offices. Here you can see the pros of the FWA device, where there's no limitations. You've got fast connectivity. Obviously you have a very expansive and high performing network backing everything up to support it. Easy installation, easy deployment. The cons, obviously, of the fiber and cable wire situation is you got long connection cycles. Generally, no remote management. Should the fiber or cable go down, there's obviously costs associated with that, as well as installation costs in the beginning. So we do see that there's a very differentiating advantage to going wireless as opposed to current wired. Right, Mark? So just to give you an idea of some of the retail store application scenarios, obviously that's probably what has been one of the most interested market segments. The whole concept of being able to have a low-cost, expansive network with duplication, if you're redundancy as far as connection because of the dual SIMs on the device itself. We've had a lot of success, and we see more success obviously in these type of scenarios where you're at convenience stores or restaurants, franchises, grocery stores. And down below is just a couple hints on the benefits of it, right? I mean, there's no professional IT personnel involved. Obviously that's lower cost for installation. It's not going to be able to have contractors or wait for truck rolls. Things of that nature is very simple, very straightforward. And also in a wired environment, remote manageable network is a little bit more difficult. So this helps that. To ensure network reliability, as we mentioned before, for those various reasons before or below, not only you're cutting costs, but you're making it more reliable in the sense that you're going to have redundant backup, you're going to have redundant failover, whether it's from wireline to the FWA or whether it's from one carrier to maybe a different carrier or a different plan, as well as the 5G does have a LTE failover should there be coverage issues or signal issues based off of something that might be happening in the network or the tower or maybe even just location. The other market segment that's obviously a target market that's been very successful as well is the office networking, because now that you have a 5G fat pipe with a T-Mobile service, You're going to be able to provide basically, standard service regardless of where you are, whether you're working from home, you're in a hybrid office, whether you have multiple branch offices or you have shared office environment. You're going to have enough bandwidth to be able to support all the needs of the various workers. Again, it also goes back to the the no professional IT personnel needed for the network. It's out of box ready type of environment. The value obviously to small enterprise branches is you're not only are you cutting your monthly costs with the large telcos or whatever wireline service you may have, but you also have the ability to remotely manage those connections within if you have multiple offices or shared offices, and you do still get enterprise bandwidth. So just to kind of continue to illustrate that, this is actually a fairly good slide here. We talk about where and why does the FWA fit in branches for small businesses, small and medium businesses. Granted, there are some obviously a fair bit of competition that we see in the market, or a fair bit of products that are offered now are kind of associated with the whole free CPE offer, where basically you have a cosmetically pleasing, ergonomically pleasing type of product, generally 1-year warranty, maybe a rudimentary type of remote manager of sorts, with very basic router functions. Where you go into like where the FWA is, obviously there's a little bit more cost involved, still far short from the more expensive ones I'll cover in a second. But now you have complete cloud management, enterprise level. You have external antennas, so should there be coverage issues, you have the ability to either send an antenna outdoors potentially, or you can increase the antennas on the actual unit itself. And you have all enterprise advanced router functions availability, as well as a 3-year warranty. And we should have added on here, but you're also getting 3 years of the free cloud manager. In a traditional IT that's using cellular, whether it's for failover or potentially primary, you're talking about much more complex, multiple component operation, where so maybe you'll have external antennas, maybe you won't. You do obviously have all the advanced router functionality, but as with the multiple components, you're talking about quite a bit of cost increase. So what are the applications? We just talked about a little bit. I mean, we talked about the generalities of the applications. These are some snapshots of the actual applications in more detail, as far as where it's been strong, where we see it moving forward to be a strong application. We have basically deployments in pretty much all 9 of these applications here. We obviously, these are not the only applications, and we do have some case studies below that we're going to show you in a minute, but this is just a general overview of some of the most obvious opportunities. So this first case study here is for primary internet for a store, whether it's a convenience store, whether it's a restaurant. Really, I don't know if we have another side of restaurants, but restaurants, retail environments, convenience stores, pretty much anywhere where they need to have access to the internet, whether it's simple access for POS, or whether it's they have more display signs, potentially signage, or even emails within the office. As far as the primary internet in the store, this kind of it's very broad and complex. And you can see down the bottom, we're kind of coupling it with the idea of having one of the best 5G networks available, as well as very aggressive pricing for plans. So basically what we're doing is we're trying, and this was the push that we've done from the beginning, and you'll be hearing more from us as well, because we do have a strategic, education program involved at T-Mobile, where basically you'll be hearing from us in greater detail, not only on this device, but some of our other devices. But the whole concept of where we fit so nicely with T-Mobile, excuse me, where we fit so nicely with T-Mobile is now you're offering the world-class data usage price model with now world-class equipment price model as well. So you've got basically aggressive pricing for network, aggressive pricing for the equipment itself, as opposed to trying to win deals with the most aggressive pricing in the nation, but trying to couple it with a very premium priced hardware piece. Go ahead. Again, primary internet for office, very similar, obviously, to the store application. You're going to have more users on it here, which is where Wi-Fi 6 obviously comes in to be quite handy, as well as often the cloud manager is probably more often used in these types of environments, just because of the critical aspect of the data and the connection that's available within the offices, whether it's a shared office or whether it's a single office. And again, we're just kind of reiterating the availability of low-cost plans through T-Mobile. The secondary feature, when we talked about primary, I mean, this is actually quite relevant and quite popular, is using it for 5G failover. So regardless of if the customer feels comfortable or wants to cut the strings or the wires completely off from their wireline service, the 5G is an economical. The 5G FWA is a very economical way to have failover with similar throughputs, if not at times better, to be honest. But have that be available as your failover internet connection, seamlessly from whether your wireline goes down and you start, broadcasting through the FWA. You're going to, keep consistent network connection reliability. And then internet for pop-up retails. I mean, this market here, I mean, it's not a huge market. It's getting bigger and bigger. But if you think about various food trucks and things of that nature, because of the economical positioning of this device paired with a low-cost 5G T-Mobile plan, this kind of connection is now more affordable for these mobile retail vehicles, or I should say, vendors and stores, and whether it's a restaurant truck or whether it's just a festival or something of that nature. Basically, all you need is power, and you have complete internet connection at high speeds without having to worry about delays and data. So what to expect as far as part numbers and logistics, if you will. I'll let Mark cover the rest of this.
Yes, thanks, Tom. So what to expect with the ordering the product. So here is the part number for ordering the T-Mobile version FWA02-NATM. And with each device, here is what you will be receiving in the kit. The FWA02 5G router, a user guide, a power adapter, Ethernet cable, and then also additional wall mount kit in case you didn't want to mount it on a desk or flat surface. Also included with each device, just to recap once again, is the 3-year in-cloud license at no additional charge, and also a 3-year warranty. Here's what it would look like for the different mounting options. So as first mentioned, we have the desktop mount. It comes with a little rubber footing pads. So if you wanted to make sure it's secure on a flat surface, you can easily place it in a non-visible location or in a location close to the maybe device you're trying to use the FWA02 with, provide internet access for. Or also with the wall mounting kit, you can easily install it so it's flat, flush up against the wall, possibly out of the way. All right, that pretty much covers it. Let's questions. Let's see if anything came in the
And
chat.
just to add a little bit to the last slide of Mark's there, the wall mount preference, if you will, is actually a good example of the flexibility, because with this device, as long as you have power, you can really mount it anywhere. So if you're if your customer has a large office building, or they have a telecom closet that's kind of secluded, you can very easily mount this in better coverage within the business itself, so that there's better coverage without having to increase the antenna length, power, cost. You can just move the unit to wherever it might be, and it can be up out of the way on the wall. So I really think that's a major benefit. Anybody have any questions? I know we kind of rolled through it pretty quick, but we do see that this product partnered with T-Mobile brings a great value proposition to your end customers, or if you are a customer and maybe joined this call, the value proposition compared to the rest of the market, partnering with T-Mobile service is undeniable and very clear. I mean, just to kind of recap, our product comes with a 3-year warranty. It has 3 years of free cloud for the $499 MSRP. We have InHand itself. We have close to 5 million devices worldwide deployed with less than 1% failure rate. So you have very high reliability, very stable network connection. 22 years manufacturing product in our own factory, which is in outside of Shanghai, where we have 250,000 square foot of factory with close to 500 workers. We build all of our own products in-house. We do now have a facility as well, though, in Thailand and Toronto, but the main products are being built in our main factory. And we're really only, one of the few left that is actually building the product, design and producing the product on site at our factory. So there's a fair bit of value add for, maybe if you hadn't heard of us before, or if you're not really too sure who InHand is. Currently we've been in the States here for about 7 years, aggressively promoting for the last 5 years. We've shipped hundreds of thousands of units each year for the last 3 or 4 years. So, there's a fair bit of, I hope that you can see that there's a fair bit of confidence and reliability in deploying this. We're currently based in Virginia. That's our North American headquarters. And we do have, regional sales reps throughout the nation to help service you or your customers in whatever fashion need be, as well as we have, a whole network of resellers as well. But feel free to reach out to any of us for any of those kind of answers. Mark, you have anything more to add?
I think that about covers it.
Looks like the Q&A queue is empty, so we're going to assume that this is pretty straightforward and there's just no room for anybody to have any questions. We'll go with that, right? Thanks a lot for taking the time to join us, y'all. I hope you see the value in this. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your local your rep and/or your T-Mobile agent, partner, reseller, all of which should be well aware of who to contact, how to contact, and how we can help you. So thanks again for joining.